Okay, so very simple. Till my n is greater than 0, my for loop is keeping on going to run, and every time it is going to basically run, it is going to first of all find the remainder of the number. Once it finds the remainder of the number, it is going to find the division of that number. Once it is going to find the division of the number, I'll just say reverse is basically the number which is a variable which is going to hold the reverse value. I'll say it starting as 0, and just I will write here my reverse variable is basically equals to whatever reverse value is there into 10 plus the remainder value. That is what we did here. My reverse is basically equals to whatever the reverse variable, whatever the value is there before, that plus into 10, sorry, into 10 plus remainder. Every time I think we have done the same thing. We have done reverse into 10 plus the remainder, whatever is there. That's it what we are doing here. Reverse into 10 plus remainder. And last, if I ask it to print what is the value of reverse, print and show me what is the value of reverse, it will just print. Why it is not printing anything? N reverse while n is greater than 0.
Reverse into 10, right? R
Sorry.
into 10 it will be. R into 10 plus R.
No. R into 10, no. Why R into 10? R is actually a variable which is holding remainder. Okay. And reverse is actually a variable which is going to hold the reversed value. Whatever value you are going to do the calculation, right, find out the reverse number, right, that reverse number will be actually stored in this variable reverse.
Okay.
In this case, if you see whatever I am writing here, no, all these numbers, last all those numbers which I am writing, first I got the answer as 3, next I got the answer as 2, next I got the answer as 1. This number whatever will be getting right, this will be stored in the variable reversed. One variable in which I am trying to store it, that's it, nothing else. Okay, so why is it not running? Till while is n is greater than 0, we'll have to do it. Pattern print reverse. Why is it not printing anything?
Like the reverse is equals to 0. Should be in while. I'm getting the number in reverse order, but one like not in a single row. One by one, I'm getting.
You're printing something here, I feel. Reverse 1 minute. N modulus of 10, n divided by 10, reverse INF. Infinity. Why infinity? INF in Python you get this thing, okay, which basically means infinity. This has to be 0. N is greater than 0. Till n is greater than 0, keep on dividing it. Finding the remainder is equal to n modulus of 10. Let's print and see this. Print R. I'm doing somewhere some mistake, I feel.
N is equals to int of n by 10 because n will like give you the floating value of that division.
N will give the floating value, but I think it should
Like it will give you
automatically
34.2. See. Like I did n is equals to int of n by 10.
I thought it will convert it on its own. Okay, correct. Okay, so you're getting the answer. Correct. Answer is correct, no? 2, 4, 3. Yes. Perfect. Who did not understand this? Now if you want to check whether it is palindrome or not, what you do is, this is my original number. What I will do is, I will just copy and keep my original number in some variable. Temp is equal to n. Whatever my variable is there, n is there, I am storing the n in some variable. Why I am doing this? Because just notice here, I am modifying n itself. Whatever the variable number is there, right, n, it is stored in n, and I am modifying n, and last my n will become 0. So you will lose the number whatever was given in as an input by the user, okay, because in this variable itself you are modifying it, right? So in this variable itself your n is going to become 0, right? So I am just storing it starting itself, whatever n is coming, that I will store it in some variable, temporary variable. And now I will check if my reverse number is actually stored in which variable? Reverse. If my reverse is equal to temp, then I can say that it is palindrome. Very simple, because starting itself I have told that my temp variable is holding whatever the n is there. So if it is there, then it is palindrome. It should print not a palindrome. Let me remove this, else it should print not palindrome. There are a lot of other ways to solve it. This is one of the way to do it. You can solve it with the method of strings also. You can convert the number into a string, then you can split it, and you can do lots of stuff. But this is one of the way to do it. Not a palindrome. Is this clear? We discussed lots of stuff. We solved lots of questions. I think it was all about problem solving today. But I hope you had fun. Hello?
Yes.
I hope you did not get bored today.
Hey, can you just show me the code?
You want me to see? You want to see the code, huh?
Yes.
Okay, no one is speaking. I hope you did not get bored. I said after that no one is speaking, that means you got bored. So I already told you alright. If you ever felt like you are getting bored, you tell me. We
Like, can you
have fun.
make some changes?
Uh-huh.
Like, I get an output, that's why.
What change you want to make? Want me to make?
Like, commit the reverse. Reverse is equals to reverse into 10 plus r. Comment it. Okay. Now, just type print condition. Okay, print r comma end. Yes, done. Now print like 2 4
Print
3.
not palindrome. Okay, so one
But you
minute.
can see 2 4 3. It got reversed.
Okay. So 4. Okay, you did it because of this line. This line.
Yes.
Correct, right? But okay, there is one very important problem here. Okay, I cannot do something like this. I cannot do something like this.
No, it will not show like palindrome because we will get the output one by one.
Only, exactly. Only it is there to show the output. That's it. You will not be able to hold that number in any variable. Correct, right?
Yes.
This 243 is not stored in any variable. It is actually printed in one loop. Okay, so no variable is there which is holding this number 243. So if you are not storing it somewhere, your problem is that you will not be able to compare it only here and check whether it is palindrome or not. If you want to check whether it is palindrome or not, you will have to store the number somewhere in some variable. So I am storing the number in one variable which is called as reverse. And whatever number I am storing, that I am checking whether it is palindrome or not. Did everyone get this point or no? Are you all with me? Did you all understood or no? First of all, you tell me that. Patterns we discussed. We discussed about some math of finding how do we actually find a reverse number. It's so damn simple, man. You just divide a number, find a remainder of the number, divide a number. After division, just create a variable which is reverse, and inside that reverse you do it by 10 plus the whatever reverse remainder, whatever into 10. Why into 10? Because I already told you all, plus the remainder. That's it. This logic you will be using whenever you want to reverse a number. Is this clear?
Yes.
Perfect. So I will be speaking some other concepts also, because I have already told you all today I will have to finish that. Let's finish up that. Strings, very important. Already discussed about strings. I think you already know lots of stuff. I think again we'll have lots of fun solving questions about strings. Okay, so let's finally come to this point, which is strings in Python. We have already done some discussion about this, not like we are doing it for the first time. Okay, so strings are represented in double quotes like this. Hello, something like this. If you want multi-line string, you can use triple quotes. So I'll just explain you here itself in code. Okay, so I'll create one more file which is strings.py. Perfect. So if I want to create a string, let's say I want to store my name, what are strings and all these things we have already discussed. This is not the first time we are discussing. I am just going to speak about some little bit more in depth about string. That's it. Okay, my name is Gautam, so I will store Gautam, and it's very simple. You can print this. Come on, Python strings.py, and you will get Gautam. Okay, I'm not printing it. So print name. That's it. Perfect. You got Gautam. Fine. Okay. Now, as we have already discussed, there is something called as raw string also. Okay, or raw string. Okay, this you might be not knowing. So what do I mean by this is, maybe you might contain some character, something like this. Okay, maybe you want to have some characters like /t or /f or /t, something like this. What you will do at that time? What if I tell you to print something like this? Hello /t, I want you to print this as it is. How will you print? Can someone tell me how will you print? Hello, you're there?
Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat the question?
I am asking you one question. That question is, I want you to print this line. Print and show this one. How will you print?
Print in bracket hello.
Print in bracket, okay, hello, next /t, as it is like this. Correct?
Yeah.
Let's see how it will come. See here, it did not come. Where is /t there? /t has not
Double
come.
Double
double slash.
What? Double slash.
double
Slash.
Because of double quotes, it is not coming.
What? Why is it not coming? You know, because these are some special escape characters which are available. Correct? And anytime these escape characters, if you use it inside a string, they have a special meaning. So what Python is thinking that you actually want to give a tab space and you don't want to give /t. That way Python is thinking it. So how to forcefully tell Python that actually I want /t itself and I don't want a tab space. Don't try to use the special meaning of /t. Try to just print /t itself. How to tell Python like that? If you want to tell Python like that, you can tell that I want a raw string. You can just write the word here R. If you write the word R, whatever letters are there inside this string, as it is, it will be printed. No special meaning, no special characters, slash n, slash t, whatever these special characters, special meanings are there, this will not have any significance now. They will be printed as it is the way you have told. That is called as raw string. Is this clear? Hello?
Yes, it's clear.
Raw string.
It's
How do
clear.
you write a raw string? With the word R. Perfect. If raw string is clear, let's try to do one more thing. Let's try to see how to print multiple line strings. How do you print multiple line string? How do you print multiple line strings? If you want to print multiple line string, you will be using triple quotes. Okay? You can print as much number of lines as you want now. Very simple. It will be printed multiple lines. You can print multiple
What
line
if we
strings.
use single quotes?
What? Single quote will
Single
not appear.
quotes.
Will give error, because if you want to, you cannot write only in multiple lines. You will have to write all this in same line. Then you can use slash n if you want. Here, that is another way to do it. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now let's study about indexing and slicing. Same indexing and slicing, yesterday what we discussed. Same thing it will work here also. Let's say we have a string, name is basically equals to my name. This is my string. And you already know indexing will start from 0, so if I want to print the first only letter G, then it will print, it will be basically available at name of 0. Name, first of all the string name, and then you can write of 0. That's how it will work. This is indexing. If you want minus indexing also, you can use negative indexing. It will print the last letter, as we already discussed last class. Now let's see about slicing. Now what if I tell you to print all the letters from G till last? How will you slice it? Sorry, from second letter till last. Come on, fast. Hello? Print from A till M, all the letters.
A double
What?
A
Where should I write? Where should I write?
print name A is to that symbol.
Which symbol? A, like this.
And
No.
that double two colons.
Colon. This one. Colon. This one. No. What is this A but? No. What is this A but?
Start second letter of the string.
Letter, but you cannot pass letters inside. You cannot pass letters inside this. See here, you already know.
Index number.
You already know. Inside these brackets, always index number should be passed, not letters. Index number. What is the index number for A?
1.
1.
One.
After that, colon. Don't write end anything. Why? If you don't write end anything, any number, it will print till last. It should print all things now. What if I want to print only last letter with negative indexing? How to do it with negative indexing? Only last letter with negative indexing.
-1.
-1. That's it. last letter with negative indexing. Yesterday we have discussed this. I am not going to tell you again one time about this. Is this easy for everyone? Srinidhi, Gaurav, Neha, what we are doing? Actually we did it in the last class, okay? So if you have not watched, you must be not getting a little bit, but I think I'll upload tomorrow that lecture so that you can watch tomorrow. We have discussed indexing in depth in last class, why we need indexing, how indexing will make things faster, all those kind of stuff. That's it. We are done with indexing. That's how simple it is. I'll tell you some more operators that are available. Even in list it is available. Okay. In and not operator. In and not operator in string. Okay, very simple. For example, let's say I have a variable name names, okay, and let's say I have names like Ganesh, Gautam, Shreya, then we have Aditya, let's say we have okay, fine, this much names are there. You want to check whether a name is there in this string or not, okay, that time you can use this operator in and not operator, whether something is there or not, whether something is there inside something or not. How to check? You can check something like this. If Gautam, if this Gautam word, if this Gautam string in names, if it is there in names, in this names, then you can say true, Gautam is there in this string. Else you can say Gautam is not there in this string. Now it will print Gautam is there in this string. So in operator is basically used to check whether something is there in a string or not. Okay. Similarly, we have not operator. If Gautam not, or you can say if not Gautam in names, this is also we can check. If not Gautam in names, then print Gautam is not there, something like that. If not Gautam in names, you can do Gautam is not there. If not Gautam in names, Gautam is not in string. Gautam is there already in the names, so it is not printing this one. Is this clear? The in and the not operators, very simple. It is just used to check whether something is there in something or not. Whenever I'll give you a problem to solve, that time you should use this operators, in and not operator. It's like normal English, if Gautam in this or not, something like that. If that is done, you have already studied about string formatting, right? String formatting and F strings, do you know? Are you using it? Because we know if you don't use it, you will lose it. Whatever you have learned, if you don't use it, you will be lost. That content will be lost from your brain. It will disappear. It will evaporate. String formatting and F strings, we already know how to do it. Dot format function, and there you can pass all those things. We have already learned all these things. So let's not go here again one time. Let's study some methods that are available with string. Very useful methods. Just concentrate here. Methods in string. Methods means what? I have already told, or functions, whatever you want to call it. Methods means some inbuilt functions that are available with strings. Okay? Some inbuilt functions that are already available with strings. Very simple. So let's say we have a name. Let's create a name. I love name. I love my name. So I am writing every time my name itself. You might be fed up hearing this word, but bear with me. My name, come on, Gautam, looks good. Don't want you, I want you. Where are you? Perfect. Okay, so what are some of the functions that are available? Some of the functions that are available you can use, like upper. If you want to capitalize everything, so you can do something like this also. See, name, whatever the string is there, dot capitalize. Capitalize function you call, it will capitalize everything. Everything in the sense, it will capitalize the first letter. Okay, if you, this will basically P-A-P-I-L-I-Z, capitalize first letter. Why I am writing this comment and all again? Because if you go through this code, you must understand it. So, okay, let's comment it now. Let's check. Uppercase. Okay, if I just type the name, whatever the name is actually a string. Okay, these all methods are of strings. Don't use it on integers. The name dot upper you do. If you do it upper, it will uppercase it. Completely uppercase it. Very simple. So I think there is nothing to thought here because you already know. Similarly, you might be guessing that you must be having for lower also. There is nothing very difficult in this. Lower, name dot lower. If you run it, you will get all lowercase. Similarly, there is upper, there is lower, there is capitalized, there is upper and is lower also. Swap case. What is the meaning of swap case? What it will do is, if it is an upper, it will convert to lower. If it is lower, it will convert to upper. Okay, swap case is there. See here, because it was in uppercase, lowercase it converted to upper. If I write it in uppercase, it will convert it to lower. Swap case swaps the case of the letters. Very simple. Converts to uppercase, converts to lowercase. Very simple. So I hope you learn few methods. One is capitalize, it will capitalize first letter. Upper, lower, swap case. Then is upper and is lower is also there. Print name dot is upper is there. Is upper. Checks whether it is in uppercase or not. Checks. Returns true, or if all the letters are in uppercase, or else return false. So now it should return true. Why it should return true? Because all the letters here are in uppercase, so it is returning true. Similarly, you have for lowercase also. Very simple. Print name dot is lower. Is lower. Yesterday I have told you, right, that using dot operator you can access all the functions that are available on that particular string or on that particular list. If you were yesterday talking about list, right, we were doing list dot append, dot remove. So dot is an operator which is actually we use to access all the methods that are available for that particular string. You will understand more in depth about this in classes, okay, exactly how it is working. You will understand, and this is actually a function call we have already discussed. This is not actually a definition, this is a function call, and afterwards you will understand that this is actually a class. It's not a normal string, but actually it's a string class. You will understand more in depth of this when you go to classes and objects. Name dot is lower, returns if it is in lowercase. Let's comment this one. Let's do it like this. False. Yes, it is false because here is lower. It is not lower. It is false. It is in uppercase. Perfect. Is this clear what I am trying to tell you, or is it going too fast?
Clear.
Which functions you studied?
Capitalize, upper, lower, swap case, is upper, is lower.
Perfect. You have few more, like is alpha is there, is decimal is there, is num is there, is title is there. Okay, so very simple to check whether it is
Is
an
alpha
alphabet.
numer-
To check whether it is an. Come on. Print title is there, name dot title. Okay, so capitalize the first letter of the word, again it will do the same thing what capitalize will do. Nothing much fancy, just it will make it a title, look like a title. Title means what? It will like first letter, it will just make it first letter as capital. That is what capitalize also does. Capitalizes first letter, same. So in your theory exam also, if you have a Python subject theory exam, you must be asked all these functions. Okay, so is title, these all are called as is x functions. Is x functions in string. Is x means what? Is x, in x place you can replace whatever you want. Is upper, is lower. Upper is the word which you replaced here, lower is the word which you replaced here. You have is I'll tell you one more. Title is not is x function, so let's do it here. Okay, so is, you can say print name dot is alpha, checks whether, checks, returns true if all the letters in a string are alphabets. All the letters I am talking. Okay, so just see, it should return true now, because in Gautam word all the letters are alphabets. It is returning true. Now I'll add a number inside Gautam. Now it should return false. Checks if all the letters in the string are alphabets or not. See here false, because there is a number here, it is not alphabet. Now there is one more thing, like is alpha is there. Similarly we have is alpha is num alpha is there, which checks both. Print name dot is digit also is there. So let's check for is digit first. Is digit, whether it is a digit or not. Checks true if all the letters are digits. If all the letters are digits, all the letters. Now tell me, here it should return true or false for this one.
False.
False. Why? Because not all the letters are alphabets, not all the letters are digits, only one letter is digit, so it is false. If I make it like this, now it will be true, because all the letters are digits now. Very simple. Perfect. Print is alnum, so name dot is alnum. This function is very important again, because it will check whether alphabet as well as numbers. Checks whether, returns true if all the letters in the string are alphabets and digits. It should return true. True. Why? Because it is combination of both alphabets and letters. Only if it is alphabets it should return false. Okay, returns true. Is alpha num. Okay, so it checks, it returns true if all the letters are in the string are digits or alphabets. If all the letters are in the if all the letters in the string are digits or alphabets, okay, whatever it is, if any of this is there, then it is going to return true. Let's check for number also. Yes, because it is a digit, it is going to return true. Is this clear? Just
Yes.
remember these three very important functions. Is alpha checks alphabets, all the letters are alphabet or not. Is digit checks whether all the letters are digits or not. Is alpha num checks whether letters are alphabets or digits, whatever, or either one. Both are also fine, or either one are also fine. And these is alpha functions, is x functions, these are actually called as is x functions. Is x functions always return the answer in true or false format. Either they always return true or they return false, they don't return anything else. Just remember this. Is x functions always returns boolean values. Either they return true or false. Whenever you see this word is, you should understand that it is always going to return a boolean value. It is going to return either a true or false. Sometimes you might be getting doubt what is the meaning of this return, what it is actually returning, where it is returning. This you will completely be cleared when we will go to functions. In functions we'll understand what exactly it means when you say returning something, how actually a function returns, why does it return something, all those kind of stuff. Okay, so is x functions, I hope you must have understood. We have discussed about is alpha, is decimal, we have discussed about is title is also there, is upper is there, is lower is there, print name dot is space is there. You can check whether space is available or not here. In this right now there is no space available, so it will be always false. Is space is there, is title is there, false, because there is no space available inside this string. So if you give some space here, it should return true, because false. Strange, did not save it or what. Returns true if, okay, sorry, it returns true if all the letters are spaces. Okay, it is going to return true, returns true if all the letters are spaces. Okay, only that time it is going to return true. See here, true now. But if there is actually some letters here, it is going to return some false. Okay, why? Because when it is going to return true, it is going to return true only and only when all the letters are spaces. All the letters in the string are spaces, that time it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. Is title is there, is title checks whether the word is a title or not. Let's give it like this. It is not a title, so it should return false. But if I make it G as capital, it should return true. Yes, true. Is this clear?
Yes.
Because I think there is no difficulty in there is no question of any difficulty in this, because we are just returning true or false, true or false, true or false. These all, what are these all? These all are inbuilt functions which are going to help you write program faster. Okay, instead of you manually writing a program to check whether, how to check whether alphabet is title or not, whether a string is title or not, whether a string is containing digits or not, whether a string is containing alphabets or not. If you want to write your own program for this, it will take you much longer size. You will have to write lots of logic. Instead of that, I am telling you to use these functions that are available. If you just use these functions that are available, it will be way easier for you. In just one line you will be able to do it. This is the power of inbuilt functions, and we'll also see the power of external functions when we'll import libraries. Libraries are like Aladdin ka chirags, I have already told you all. Huge power you will get. This is nothing. You can solve big questions so much fast using libraries. So much complex problems you can do it very easily with the help of libraries without writing much code. Because of inbuilt functions also, so much code is actually getting hidden because you are using inbuilt functions. So just a quick revision of what all functions we learned. We learned capitalize, we learned upper, we learned lower, swap case, we learned is upper, is lower, then we learned title. And is x functions are very important. This is x, these all are is x functions. Is x functions always return boolean values. Very important point to remember. Is upper, is lower. So you should understand when does it return true. Okay, is alnum, okay, is digit, is alphabet, returns true if all the letters of this string are alphabets. Returns true if any one letter is also a number, it will return false. is alnum, it will return true if any letters are alphabets or digits or either of that, it is going to return true. Is space is going to check whether the string is going to contain only spaces or not. If it is going to contain only spaces, then it is going to return true, else false. Is title going to check whether it is having a title or not. Is this all clear?
Yes.
Perfect. So we will be studying one very powerful again two function. One is starts with and ends with. Very powerful functions. To check whether a string is starting with something or
Are these
ending with.
topics are small?
Sorry?
Are these topics are small?
Why these topics are?
Smaller, are you going to
They are
explain
they
in detail?
exactly. That's what. So I am running very fast. Okay. Because I think you if you understand it very easily, there is no need to explain much here. Start with and ends with. When do you start with and end with? You want to check whether something in the string is starting with or not. For example, if I tell you, check if the string starts with a specific word, that is let's say if it is starting with the word hello, check if the string is starting with hello, the string is here name. So let's do name dot starts with, and then you write starts with hello. How do you actually access all the functions that are available in string? With the help of dot operator. The string name dot the function name. Very simple syntax. If you want to access any functions that are available inside string, you just write first of all the string name, put a dot, and then write the function name. That's it. And this is actually a function call. So what it should return? Let's see, print and see what it will return. It should return true or false. False, because it is not starting with hello. Let's check if this is starting with Gautam or not. Check, true, starts with. It will check whether it is used to just check. Let's check whether it is starting with the capital letter G or not. It is just used to check whether the string is starting with a specific letter or specific word or not. Okay, this is the use of starts with. Similarly, you have ends with. Simple, whether it ends with G or not. If you just hover over it, right, it will tell everything, what all parameters it is accepting and all. It accepts a start, starts with, it accepts the prefix start end, returns a boolean, returns true if yes starts with a specific prefix, false otherwise, with optional start and test case, okay, start and okay. So it will take actually 3 parameters, okay, if you want to give, some are optional. So it will just check whether it will end with, starts with, okay, so let's write ends with. It ends with G or not? Ends with G or not? False, it is not ending with G. I think it is ending with Gautam, Patil, Patil. True, because it is ending with L. See here, ending with L. Very simple. Okay, now you can do one more thing here. Starts with, you can also give second parameters, which is start index and end index. Let's say if you want to search, now you are searching in the whole string, right? If you want to search only in this word Patil, P is starting with capital, P is starting with, the starting letter only in this word Patil, the P is actually, the starting letter is P or not, okay, if you want to check like that, what you will do? First of all, you will write, I want to search P, I want to check whether it starts with P or not, okay, and I can write start index and end index here, from where to start searching, where to end searching. So searching should start from here and end should happen here. So what is the index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Space also you will have to count 6. 7 is the index. Start from 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. End at 11. 7 and 11. Now it will search only in this particular index whether it is there or not, and it should be true because yes, 7th index it is starting with P. Is this clear? This is optional. This is optional. Okay. Start and end index are optional. Is this clear or no? Just tell me if yes, perfect. Join.
Yeah.
Join is also very simple. Let's talk about split first of all. If you want to split this string by with the help of some separator, maybe you want to split from wherever there is spaces and all, that time you will be using split method. So you can just write print name dot split, something like this, and here you should write based upon what you want to split. I can say it split it based upon some space, so it will split it based upon some space. By default, if you don't write anything, it is going to split based upon space itself. Now it is going to return a new list. Very important point to remember is that returns a new list of all splitted words. It is going to return a new list. This is a very important point to remember. Let's say if you want to split it by comma, maybe you have some multiple words. Gautam Patil. Let's say you have, say, Anita Patil. You have Prashant Patil. Let's say we have these three. I want to split it by comma. I'll just write here comma. Split the string by comma. It is going to return a new string, new list. See here, a new list splitted by commas. Is this clear? Is this clear? Split method.
Yes.
Perfect. Whatever you are going to split on, it is going to split. Similarly, you have join. Split is used to split, join is used to join. So you can say maybe you want to join, maybe I want to join one more name to that particular string. Let's say Shreya or Rekha Patil. I want to join Rekha Patil. This string I want to join to the original string, so I will write this string I want to join to original string. Okay, very simple. You can join one string to another string. Join what? Join the name. Very simple. Oh, what happened here? Let me remove all names. We have Anita Patil. Oh, Rekha Patil. N, okay, N, Rekha Patil. Okay. So what it has done is actually it has joined for every letter. Okay, so if you want to concatenate, you could have directly done it like this. There is no doubt in that. Or you could have done something like this. Rekha Patil plus the name, if you do, it will concatenate the string and it will add this string. That you could have easily done it. But if you join it, if you just do dot join, remember that it is actually going to join this word whole string to every letter of this. Okay, so it is going to write A, and after that it is going to join the whole string Rekha Patil. Then it is going to write N, and it is going to join Rekha Patil. It is going to write I, it is going to write join Rekha Patil. Again it is going to print T and Rekha Patil. So it is it is going to go on like this. Okay, if you use this join method, you can say name you can use one function inside another function also, that is also possible. So it is going to actually split it. Okay, so join function should be actually used, you know what, on list. Okay, so inside you should actually pass a list. See here, I'll show you. Let's say I have a list and it has two names like this. Now it is going to join properly. Missing something? Yes, missing something. See, now it will join Anita Patil, and for that it will join the Anita Rekha. Something happened here. Anita Rekha Patil. What happened here? I did not understand. Let's remove Rekha Patil. Okay, so what happened is Anita Rekha and then Patil. This is strange. Name Rekha dot join. Join concatenate any number of strings. A string whose method is called is inserted in between each given string. The result is returned as a new string. Okay, perfect. So see, what they are trying to tell you here is it is going to concatenate any number of strings. First of all, this join method is going to concatenate any number of strings. The string on which the method is called, the string on which the method is called is inserted in between each given string. Okay, for example, we are calling this method on which string? Rekha. See here, Rekha is the word. On Rekha we are calling this string join. On Rekha we are calling this method join. So the string on which this method will be called will be basically inserted in between what they have told, in between each given string. Very simple. So here in between this given string, whatever you have given here, right, in between that the Rekha word will be inserted. If you want to insert string 5 between 2 and 3, it should insert 5 between 2 and 3. So join function is actually used to concatenate strings, and it is actually going to insert this. Something happened. Just 1 minute. I'm really sorry for the disturbance. Are you able to hear me? Just mobile got switched off. Just mobile. Are you able to hear me or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Fine. So what is the most important point to understand? Join is basically going to concatenate.
Screen is not visible.
Concatenate. What is the use of join method? Join is basically going to join two strings. Join is going to, I hope it is visible now. Okay. So what join is going to do? Join, let's say if you have a string hello, okay, if you have a string hello, and or let's say if you have this something like this, if you have a list, not a string, if you have a list, okay, with these two words, hello world, let's say if you have this a string with these two words, and you want to join these two words and make a new string, you want to concatenate these two words and make a new string, and you want to separate it with some space in between. So whenever you want to basically concatenate two things by adding something in between, when you want to concatenate two things, two elements of a list and form, concatenate elements of a list by adding something in between. Then use join method. Okay, so how will you use join method? What you want to put in between, that you say, what, this is my question, you have to basically add this two and make it basically a single string, and you have to insert space in between, hello space world. So what you want to concatenate in between, or what you want to add in between that string, or whatever you want to add in between that, dot join, and after that join you will basically add this one, this one. If I print this, what it will print? It will print hello space world. Very simple. Okay, what join will do, just if you scroll here you will understand, it is basically going to concatenate many things or many strings or many items that are available in a list. Okay, it is actually used to concatenate strings or items that are available in a string. Okay, you can concatenate strings also, but it is used to concatenate strings, items, anything that is available, which is an iteratable. Okay, here it is written that come on, yes, here it is showing that it is it should be an iteratable, so strings are iteratable. So that thing, if you want to concatenate the string on which the join method is called, okay, that will be inserted in between the given string. On the string on which, this is the string on which I am calling this join method, this whatever string on which the join method you are going to call will be actually inserted in between these two. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's say if I have something like this, I have something like this. Now what will the output string will look like? It will look like hello space, this whatever string you are going to put here, right, it is space right now. Let's say if I want to put some equal to sign, this I want to put in between, if I want to put this word, this string in between these letters, that time you will be using join method. So now what will happen is hello, then in between this will come, world, between this will come, Monday, this will come. See here. So join method is used to basically insert a string in between some other strings. It can be a list or it can be even something like this. Hello, it can be something like this. Now what will happen here in this case? H will be there, then after H this will be printed. Let's put 1 equal to. H will be coming, then 1 equal to will come. After every E, again 1 equal to will come. You want to insert this string in between every letter of the string or every element of a list. That time it will work like this. See here. Is this clear?
Yes.
Perfect. So I
Gautam,
hope
can
that,
you take remaining other day?
no, we have almost done. 2 more functions
Okay.
I'll tell, we'll be almost done. That's it. Okay. So one more function I'll tell you, sort. If you want to sort a list in sort a string, that also you can do. Let's say if you have these words, okay, and you want to sort them in some ascending order, then you can do. You can say name dot sort. Sort function is called. Sorting algorithm is used here. Okay, so it is going to sort and arrange all those letters in alphabetical order. See, come on. A string attribute has no sort. Okay. String has no sort. That is strange. Okay, so I think you cannot call sort here. String doesn't have sort. What error you're getting? You also, if you get this error, that basically means that a string object, that means a string, you cannot call a sort function on string. Sort function is not available on string. That is what it is trying to tell. Okay, so if that is not there, let's know that. I have already
Like
told.
sorting A to Z, Z to A.
Sort must
It should be available, no? Then
available, I feel. Sort a string. So sort. Join plus sorted. Okay, so we'll have to use it with some other method whenever we'll be dealing questions, right? That time we'll see that. Okay, let's not see that, but we'll try to sort, because we'll be solving questions like anagram and all, so that time we'll need it. So I'll come back to that, however. Okay, and you can also iterate over a string using for loop. Iterate over a string using for loop. Okay, so if I just show you, you can do for I in name. Name is the string, and print I. It will start printing every letter of that string. Okay, see here, started printing every letter of that string. Very simple. Okay, and last one, I think one function is there, odd and car, and that's it. I will tell, so that we can basically do the remaining things afterwards. Okay, so there is one more function which is odd and char, char functions, which is used to convert one as let me show you. Print, if you write odd function, odd of a, if you write like this, odd of a, okay, so it will actually give you the ASCII value of a. Print odd of a, come on. Print odd of a, 65. See here, it is the ASCII value of 60 a. Okay, and if you want to do it, gives the ASCII value, gives ASCII value of character. Okay, similarly you have one more function which is print. If you want to do the reverse, char, If you want to do char of 65, it should give a. It basically gives character of the ASCII value given. What is ASCII value? You can go and Google ASCII, ASCII, ASCII value. What are ASCII values? Is basically some values that have been assigned to different letters. Okay, you can just Google about ASCII values. But odd function and char function are used to convert. Okay, if you give a char value, it will give ASCII value. If you give ASCII value, it will give char value. Is this clear? This is the last function, which is strip function. Strip function is basically used to strip white spaces. Function is used to remove white spaces. White spaces. Okay, so let's say we have name, some words is basically equals to something like this, the hello, something like this. Okay, if you have something like this, then this I have given some spaces, right? So if I just write print words dot strip, it is going to remove all the unwanted white spaces that are available at the start and at the end. See here, the starting white spaces got removed. Although some white spaces was there here, it got removed because of the function which is called as strip. If I just print and show you before words, before strip, you will understand. See here, white space was there, it got removed. So similarly, you have L strip and R strip also, same strip function. You have L strip, it removes white spaces, left and right, both white spaces, right? White spaces will be removed. Okay, with this one. But there are few functions like you have print words dot L strip and R
दादा
strip.
उद्या घे की.
हे झालं दोनच आहेत, L strip, R strip, that's it. L strip basically means that it is going to remove the left side.
सगळी केली.
Okay, तुम्ही नाही, if you want to leave you can leave, because L strip, R strip, two functions are there, and that's it. We'll finish up. Snehal is laughing. So just remember that you just try it on your own. Okay, I'll not explain this, just try it on your own. L strip is basically used to remove the white space. If you just scroll here, it basically removes the white space from one side, and R strip is there. Similarly, it will basically remove the white space from other side. That's it. Okay, so I have given assignments
left side.
here. Sorry, not R strip and left strip are just yes, correct. Basically remove the space from others.
Right
R
side.
strip and right strip. R strip. That's it. Okay, so you just go and see about this strip. I did something wrong here, I feel. Fine. You just go and try it on your own. Try to give some spaces and try to see if it is getting removed or not. Okay, that's it. I have given some assignments on strings, so I hope you will solve those assignment questions. I have given it here. Okay, these are assignment questions. I have given some questions here also. Check whether a string is palindrome or not. You can use directly the reverse function on the string. It will reverse the string directly. Okay, so there is a reverse function on the string. The string name dot reverse you do, it will reverse the whole string. Very important point I will tell you, last one, and we'll wind up. Strings are immutable. I'll just write this point and you can leave. Okay, so if you are not able to solve those assignment questions, tomorrow we'll try to solve it once more. But what's very important to remember are strings are immutable. You cannot remodify string, same string. This is very important point. Okay, that's it. I think for today it was too long, so it's fine. We took 2 days, so that's okay. I think, thank you so much. I hope you understood, because we have covered lots of basics itself. There is nothing which should go above head. Everything is very basic. So I think that's it. Any doubts if you have, you can ask, or else you can leave. You can try out these questions.
No doubts.
Thank you. I know you will not ask also.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Bye.
Even if I could be there, I could have not asked.
Okay.